Well, there is always a buzz when Europe's elite rugby nations commence battle to be crowned the champions of the Northern Hemisphere. But with a World Cup only 6 months away, it comes into much sharper focus, doesn't it? England, very, very strong selection, hugely experienced side, boasting 727 caps. 9 of these players started the 2010 World Cup final. There's another 238 caps on the bench, just 5 changes from when they met in November. Well, for France, a colossal pack, no surprises there. Could outmuscle England if they stand still for long enough. Useful set of backs to real pace for the likes of Izar, Grassino, involved with the Sevens last season, and of course Marion Lièvre, 2 times she crossed the whitewash in the autumn. Well, the referee is from Ireland, Helen O'Reilly, who actually took charge of the match back at Twickenham several months ago. We're delighted to say former England captain Sue Day is alongside. And so, key game for both sides, not just this tournament, but looking ahead towards the summer in August and the World Cup.
That's right, the girls have already said it in the studio. This is where you set your stall out, and this is World Cup year. It's France playing in France. France at home, they're always such a tough proposition, and they know that they've got to really hit the ground running for their home World Cup this year. That said, it's such a vastly experienced England side. You have to put them as favourites for this game.
England, France, the 2 heavyweights of Europe in the Six Nations, is always special, but that increases tenfold as both these sides set out in earnest on their World Cup journeys. 2014, I should say, a year when one nation's dreams will become reality. For all the other nations, their dreams will be shattered. And it's Katie McLean, newly crowned with an MBE, who gets this game underway. Big French pack, as we expected. They struggled with the pace of England in the autumn. 40 points to 20, wasn't it, at Twickenham? No, Marie-Alice Yahi at scrum half for France. That's a big loss in terms of leadership, but also as a scrum half. Jennifer Trancy, the lady wearing the 9 shirt tonight for France. And it's Rachel Burford, player of the match back in November. Marley Packer. Incredible back row that England have. Sarah Hunter, so often captain, vice-captain tonight, alongside Marley Packer. We've seen her already, and Maggie Alfonsi, the machine. McLean is Burford. Caught by Sauvé. Hunt. Michelle Clark, known as Rocky. She does pack a punch. McLean. Emily Scowder's been on fire. They've had an entire week together, England. Great preparation. They'll have a whole week together ahead of Ireland, and just the commitment of these girls, giving up work for the year in preparation for the World Cup. Ball spills out though for England and France. Snap it up. Doing Agricot, feeding the outside backs. Moulier and Izar. Both played in France 7 shirts and showing their pace there.
That's a breathless start to the game, wasn't it? Right off the kickoff, you saw what I think we'll see a lot of from France today, you know, really rumbling up with the pack. But England tried to spin the ball, trying to play possibly too much rugby too soon, spilled the ball. And the French did really well to spin this wide. Unfortunately, the ball went down there. Had it not, they had a lot of space there.
Lily Braun takes the line at close. Selection call from Gary Street and Graham Smith in that second row. Tamara Taylor in the 4 shirt. Joe McGilchrist sniffing around for selection, but Emily Braun who gets the shirt tonight. Now, against Michaela Stanifer, the England Sevens captain. So that bright start from France, didn't we, in the men's game? No score as yet in the women's game. Of course, England under-20s losing to France last night and then losing earlier on. Down to the ladies then.
It is. It's all down to the England women's senior team to put a bit of pride back to England.
Chauncey feeds Kyorita. Chauncey again. Agricole. It's so much of a rugby at inside centre.
Keep coming,
just with
keep coming.
Lack of an out-and-out fly half. Christian Gallinaire has said to Sandrine Agricole as she takes the ball up now. Lovely inside flick.
Last foot.
She's entrusted with that fly half shirt. She is hugely experienced, 72 caps to her name. Ndiaye, the number 8.
Chuck him in the side, 6,
goes
out.
into England. Marley Packetol to stay where she is. Sarah Hunter, Mrs. Chauncey. Diallo, the open side, up against Maggie Alfonsi tonight. Not for the faint-hearted, that task. Did you see Ndiaye again? The Montpellier number 8, an imperious this season. In the top 10, Montpellier. Agricole. Only possession for France in the opening exchanges. Emily Scout is taken in the air, and it's an England penalty, and Hunt has gone. Another Danny Care-like. Alfonsi. Katie McLean was going wide. Rather ran away from her support, and Maggie Alfonsi.
Leave it 7.
Pass was always dying on her, but she's knocked it on. But bright stuff from England's number 9.
Yeah, going really, really quickly. That's what Mo Hunt's been picked for. She really picks up the pace of the game. She really gets things moving, and England will be looking to do that today against what is, especially the French pack, a really, really big French team. So they're going to want to move them around the park.
And we saw that in the autumn, didn't we? When England played quick ball, played wide ball, the French heavyweight just couldn't live with the pace of the game.
Yeah, and I'm sure that'll be part of their game plan, trying to do that to them again.
Okay.
You'd imagine the French team will be a little bit fitter this time. They've been playing a lot more club rugby, but still, it's an enormous pack that they're playing today.
Yeah, thank you.
France, of course, hosts of the World Cup in August. Those pool games start on the 1st of August. They'll set their stall out as a host nation. They're a different side at home. You played against them home and away, and they are a different beast.
Completely different proposition playing France in France. They always have such a fantastic atmosphere, the crowd banging the hoardings, the cockerels in the background, you know. They always lift their game at home, and it's a real test for any team playing against them.
Yeah. Tackle by Hunter and Alfonsi. And this is what France will look to do. Broke up that time. Jossini waits.
Here you go.
Ndiaye again, the number 8. There's Maggie Alfonsi getting straight over the ball. Just so good at turning that ball over. There's Taylor with a tackle. Chauncey.
Outside.
Agricole. It's come off an England hand, so it's play on. Staniford couldn't take the ball, and it's just hit her hand, and the way out will be a France line-out.
They got a little bit lucky there, France. We saw when France played in the autumn, they didn't have a good kicking game. Sandrine Agricole is a very, very experienced centre and a very good centre. She doesn't have so much experience, certainly at international level, at fly half. Her kicking game is found a little bit wanting in the autumn, and you know, they're really going to need that today if they want to pin England back.
Diallo with the line-out take, the open side for France. 1 or 2 points to prove, haven't they, England? 3rd in last year's Six Nations. It was a disjointed year with the World Cup 7s going on and players drifting from 7s to 15s. The lowest ever finish. It was such a successful tournament for England women. And yeah, down the short side. Emily Braun just about holds on to an ankle. Chauncey again, but France will be happy with the start. Plenty of possession.
And plenty of ambition. They're really going for it. It's really pleasing to see.
Use it, Blue!
Agricole stands deep, doesn't she? Okay, Wilson. Captain Merchant back in the side. She is world class. Wasn't there in the autumn. You look like Emily Scout with outside centre, another world-class player. And they didn't seem to miss them too much. And Hunt with a box kick. Little step from Trullier.
It's marked.
And England will have the put into the line-out in a good position inside France's 22.
Yeah, and you see the contrast there between the kicking games of the two teams. France had really good possession, going forward in attack, and they kicked the ball away straight down the throat of Kay Wilson, who's solid under the high ball. Give the ball to Kat Merchant, who takes the ball, 20, 30 metres forward, getting on the front foot, giving Mo Hunt the chance to kick them into the right half of the field.
Emma Croker.
Advantage.
One of the mums in the team, only had 4 months out to have a little baby boy. Girl, actually, isn't it, I think? The former Richmond player, James Croker, is director of rugby at Paisley Stoke Rugby.
Tuck it back in, out on the pole.
England taking it quickly. The referee says, no, we won't have any of that, thanks very much. And Gail Mignot, the French captain, has got a cut above her left eye and will need some treatment there.
Yeah, you can see again England were trying to play quickly, take the quick line out, get that France team moving all over the pitch, but that time there'd been a knock-on, so it's coming all the way back.
Okay. I'll have a look at her. I'll manage it, okay?
Gabrielle Fonzie straight in the ear of the referee, using all that experience. Good to see her back. She had all that time out back in the autumn, and she's backfiring for Saracens.
Yeah.
They were very close second to Richmond, didn't they, in the Premiership?
They did. It's a really tight race this year with Maggie Alfonso coming back for Saracens, made a huge impact, and she's really champing at the bit. It's frustrating being out for that long with injury, but actually you come back rejuvenated, you come back having had a good rest, so she'll be absolutely at the top of her game. And you put her together with Marley Packer, who filled her boots pretty well while she was gone. That's a formidable flanker pairing.
You think of it like
on the line out.
Heather Fisher going to be involved with the Sevens in Atlanta.
Number 10.
Just coming back to some fitness. She only had 40 minutes or so in the last round of the Premiership.
Yeah, I mean, how on earth do you fit all 3 of those flankers into one team? It's a fantastic problem for Gary Street to have.
That's the problem he has, and we've spoken about the experience running through this England side. No experiments going on now with selection as there were last season. And with England, plenty of players involved in that 7 circuit. The depth of the squad was really grown last season. Who can happen at international level and who can't? And that World Cup squad now pretty much finalised. There are chances, of course, if players do put their hands up. Agricole, that ball is taken back into the 22, so somebody in Agricole doesn't go directly to touch, and that's a fine kick from her.
A much better kick. Really good field positioning, really good placement. That's what France need from her today, because they have to be playing the match up this end of the pitch if they want to get the result out of it.
And Diai just gets the hand in the line out, doesn't she? Koita took the ball on Croker.
Both players stay down until the ball comes in, please. Yeah.
Just waits on the throw. Bit of early jumping from both sides. Fierce opponents are the England-France. Men, women, under 20s. Doesn't really matter. Bit of history there. It's Marley tacking out. Driving the bus at the back of that more. Natasha Hunt. Juliet. She's mercurial in the likes of Ladanus. Giglion not in this squad. It's only a squad for the England game, this French squad. It's unusual normally for the first 2 rounds, but so many players injured.
9.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate for France to be without players like Ladanus, like Yae, with Bailon having retired, really key playmaker. So it's a lot to to make up for.
Yeah.
One of their best players, Ballon,
want
has
this going in
decided
straight,
not to play international rugby, and she would probably be a natural 10, wouldn't she, with Sandra Agricole at 12?
Yeah, you know, that would release Agricole to play 12, the position she's so good in, and you know, we're having her at 10, it's a double whammy. It's a 10 who's not experienced, but also they're missing her at that real impact player at 12 where she plays so well.
See the power coming from France. This Hunter to Hunt. The housemates, Wilson, up from fullback.
That's that.
They realise they're watching the top of the show. Daniel Waterman is coming back to some fitness herself. She'll be out in Atlanta with her sevens, like Heather Fisher. There's Scarrett. Lovely angle from Emily Scarrett. We've come to expect from her. She's still only 23 years of age, 42 caps to her name, 25 tries. Here's Hunt, having a snipe herself, tackled by Poitiers. Penalty to England. And Katie McLean, no hesitation whatsoever, points to the post, and it'll be her responsibility to try and get it through the uprights. And England, having taken lots of water, France with lots of possession, will be very, very happy to get the first score.
Absolutely. Obviously, the ball's got to go through the post to get that first score, but it's a really, really good opportunity that's being created by taking the quick ball, getting over the gain. A lovely angle from Emily Scarrett there, really good vision. And now Katie McLean gets a chance to put the first points on the board. They've been speeding the game up, taking the quick taps, but there was not a chance in a million years that she was going to take a quick tap there. Getting the first points on the board in a game like this is so important.
No problem at all for the captain, Katie McLean. Now up to 359 points. Here's Gary Street. And Graham Smith on his right-hand side. He'll be happy with a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, it's been a really ambitious start from both teams. Really pleased to see France running at England, not just rumbling the big forwards up. You know, they need to mix it up. They need to take England on up front, but also when it's on, you know, really have a go. And it's been really pleasing to see them do that.
And you and I were there at Twickenham, weren't we, in the autumn? We're disappointed with the performance, the level of performance of France, by their own very high standard. It was well below par.
It really was. They didn't look fit enough. They looked like they were running out of ideas. And so far, this is a much better start.
And they have had some really tough rugby. There's a turbulent season and probably their most important year for French women's rugby. With the restructuring of the league, as we look at Nathalie Amiel, one of the coaches, legend of the game when she played.
I'll mark it and then you're to the right.
There's been some really tough games with relegation looming over some of the top sides. There's been some tough games, and lots of people mention that in relation to the amount of injuries that have happened in this squad.
Yeah, the club game has taken a lot out of a lot of these players. You know, they're just probably a lot, you know, like the men who play a lot of rugby and possibly too much.
And the physical rugby as Agricole flies it out. Scarrett with a tackle. Chauncey arrives now. Unadi. Chauncey again. Agricole slightly flatter that time. She's cooking a great deal more, isn't she? Yera chasing that one down against Staniford. But she has got some pace, hasn't she? Going on Yera. Only 2 caps and 15s, but she's been there in the 7 shirt.
Yeah, as you say, they've picked a number of his 7s players, so they're inexperienced as a 15s back line. It'd be interesting to see how they go, but it does mean that they've got a lot of pace, and so she was able to put Michaela Staniford under real pressure there. Another really well-placed kick from Agricole.
I did say that might be a slightly weaker part of her game, Sandra Agricole. She's kicked brilliantly this opening 15.5 minutes. Laetitia Sall, who's from Mignon, at hooker, wearing the 16 shirt, driving towards that line. What expected from France with this huge pack, juggernaut pack. England need to repel this. India is there, and they're going backwards, France. The 2-8s clash. Hunt tries to turn that ball over. It's with the opposite number, Chauncey. Meunias has missed out. Vieira.
Release the blue!
In from the wing. Burford with an important challenge. Croker's there as well for England. Marley Packer.
Leave it out wide, it's a rock!
Told to leave it alone.
No. Use the blue!
Agricole for the drop goal. She struck it pretty well. She struck it very well, and it's all square. And they deserve that, France. Plenty of territory in the England half, and they put the pressure on with the linette. It didn't work. They come back to their veteran at 10, and she strikes it quite brilliantly.
Yeah, you can't fault that for a good few phases of rugby and a very well-struck drop goal. I said that Agricole had a couple of poor kicks in the first 5 minutes. She's then proved me completely wrong with a couple of fantastically placed kicks in open play, and then that drop goal.
Now 10. Scrum.
On 10. France will have the option.
Sorry?
I guess this is what they'll do here.
First. I have from touch here as well.
And it's the most wonderful attacking opportunity, a centre field scrum with a pack the size that they've got. You've got to think that Ndai is going to pick up from the base, and then a huge gaping blindside for these really quick outside backs that we were talking about to have a go at.
You move with the ball.
Impress me.
No, you move.
In these opening exchanges, France's work at the breakdown. Packer and Alfonso are able to turn ball over at will in the autumn. Just not being able to do that in Grenoble here this evening.
That's exactly right. It looks like they've done their homework, doesn't it? As we said in the autumn, with players like Alfonso and Packer, you have to secure ball at the breakdown. You have to make sure you get there quickly. And tonight, so far, that's exactly what they've done.
In a few very, very cold hours, I can say, with the England squad this week. With their training base, Surrey Sports Park in Guildford. And there was a steely determination. Still hurting from that defeat to New Zealand back in 2010. Want to go one better this summer and lift the trophy. Dinadi, lovely pass from Poitier, wasn't it? Trancy. Rocky Clark tries to drive over the ball. Ndiaye is heavily involved again.
Run away, Wise!
Scored 3 tries in the quarter-finals against Bragnac. Trancy again. Montpellier scrum half. Agricole nowhere through there between McLean and Burford.
You're killing the contest, 3. Stay up. 13. Katie, I don't want you demanding decisions.
Shannon Izar was penalised that time, not allowing a fair contest. Katie McLean just spoken to. I'll make the decision, said the referee.
It's interesting going back to the scrum we said right in the middle of the park early on, at the beginning of that play. Big gaping open blindside, and actually England put the very experienced Maggie Alfonso on the blindside and were able to shut the move down.
You're 9. 9. 9. 9. 9. 9.
Referee wanting a word with
you only have 5 seconds
Jennifer
to take the ball, okay?
Emma Croker.
Yeah, you need to hurry it up a bit, okay? Yeah.
Plus vite, absolutely.
Yes?
Keep battling, guys. Keep working hard.
16 blew off, okay?
Finalists in the last 3 World Cups.
Girls, if that's a sub, are we?
Bitter pills to swallow.
I'd be happy if you get the shoulder out even more. I'll manage it though, okay? But I want
back on the field. It was a nasty gash above that left eye. But he fell in 2010 at the Twickenham StoOp. That game was there for the taking. Only 3 points in the end between the two sides, wasn't it? And Gary Street's been doing a lot of work on the mental side of the game, the mental toughness and making decisions under pressure.
Yeah, there were 3 points in it, and at one point during that game, New Zealand were down to 13 players. So, you know, those are the occasions, those are the opportunities. If you're going to win World Cup finals, you have to take. And, you know, these players have to believe. Any team that wants to beat New Zealand in a World Cup final has to believe that they are going to win. You have to go into those games with that belief.
Now, okay?
If you're not sure, you won't win it.
There's too much blood there. We're going to have to make a decision,
England
okay?
with Canada,
15 minutes off if you want.
Spain and Samoa. France in Pool C with Wales, South Africa and Australia, and then Pool B consists of the reigning champs, the Black Ferns, Kazakhstan, Ireland.
Time back on there, please,
And
Bruno.
USA, Ireland started their campaign, their defence of the Six Nations title, didn't they, with a thumping 59 points to 0 over Scotland. Record score for them.
Yeah, I watched that game last night. Very, very good performance by Ireland. Very, very clinical. Scotland are just missing the strength and depth and the important positions on the pitch, and they just weren't able to keep up with Ireland.
Taylor off the top. McLean into Alphonse, right into the heart with the French defence. Hunt. Burford. Scoured again on a very short angle. Quite often see her coming, but more often than not, can't do anything about it. Just as I say that, it's over the top very quickly. And Emily Scarrett is penalised for holding on to the ball, but she really is world class. Missed the autumn through injury, Emily Scarrett.
Yeah, she's got such a good all-round game, Emily Scarrett. We've seen this evening already some great lines as she did there. Although gets turned over here, England need to put more numbers into the breakdown, as we said, France are doing probably. But Scarrett, you know, she's also got sort of 50-metre kick and great passing skills off both hands. Really is one of England's key players.
She was one of those involved in the Sevens World Cup. Just in the plate, didn't they, to Australia. Minuet. Captain against England.
Go back around 5 ways.
Here at the start of the Six Nations, and she's there with a ball tucked under one arm in the shape. French pack eating up the ground. Stop momentarily now. There's the call from the referee. Stop once. But up to that 22, and this is alarm bells for England here. Once told to use it, they haven't. Referee's very clear with her instructions, and because they haven't used it, France have turned the ball over. England put in to the scrum, but as I say, dangerous signs there for the England 8.
Yeah, that's twice now that France have got a really good shove on after a line out. To be fair to England, they've defended it very, very well in the end. They've managed to stop it, managed to tie the ball up. It might be a bit of an issue for France that Trancy at 9 doesn't speak very good English, and so whether she heard the ref say once and heard the ref say use it, I'm not 100% sure. But they've just got to keep the ball at the back. France is getting tied up by the good English defence.
Been absolutely no secret this week at all. Plenty of press coverage around the England women's game. Gary Street, Katie McLean, Sarah Hunt, all talking about wanting to win every single game in 2014.
Crouch! Bind!
Lofty ambitions,
Set!
but well within their squad to do so.
If they want to win a World Cup final, then it's certainly the sort of target they need to set themselves. It certainly puts pressure on them, but you know, then maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's what they need.
Hunter is taken really well. Diallo and Marley Packer, all hustle and bustle, isn't she? Good run from her, and here's Scarrett. Broken field, and she's so dangerous. And the Croakers stop the bleeding. Hunter, Dickett Merchant. Twisting and turning through the tackle of Agricole. It's Hunter and Sophie Hemming penalised straight off their feet, trying to secure that ball.
Yeah, we're saying how ambitious both teams are being, and it's really, really good to see that. But England have tried to run this ball from 5 or 10 metres from their own line, given away a penalty, turned the ball over and given France a penalty in a really good position to get a very, very good attacking opportunity. So ambition is one thing, but sometimes field position is important, especially in the first game of the Six Nations away to France.
And would England be playing wide? And we're just into the second quarter now, aren't we? But looking to tire those French forwards out. It's an obvious ploy from the Ottoman. Talking to Gary Street this week, going to move that big, heavy French pack around for later in the games. The holes will appear.
Yeah, that's absolutely what they're trying to do, I'm sure. It's just you need to do that without giving away kickable penalties. Nothing wrong with kicking that ball and playing in the French territory and then tiring the forwards out after that. That said, this is a tough kick for Sandrine Agricole.
Scored 8 points at Twickenham against England in the autumn. Sandrine Agricole. Already got a drop goal.
Hold.
Dropped just shy of the crossbar. Peter McLean is able to clear. But only as far as Sandrine Agricole. Hasn't even had time to put her scrum cap back on. England look to turn this ball over. Hunter Rives realise
No advantage coming, girls.
there was no one
No
back, but
advantage
didn't
coming.
quite get the kick right.
Captain, I need to keep them up on their feet. Okay, your eight
They
went
were
off her
playing
feet. I need them
advantage
up.
because France knocked the ball on. England scrum. Slight let off for Mo Hunt.
Yeah, the ball just got knocked on in the contact there, didn't it? It's just squirted out the side, so England were able to pounce on it.
Okay. Here we are. Yeah. Huh? Yeah.
France at the moment have got all the ball in the right parts of the pitch. England are really stuck in this area. They haven't had much attacking ball in the right half of the pitch, so I think they need to get their hands on it, boot it down the other end and start trying to play down there.
Not so technical this game of rugby, they do. Hoof it downfield.
Pretty
Play
easy. Pretty easy. Run forwards, pass backwards and kick it when needed.
It's just a pig's bladder over a white line, someone once told me. Hunter. Communication wasn't right with Riley Packer there. Diallo. Rushing up. Chauncey arrives. Good opportunity for France here. There's an up into midfield now. Chauncey arrives. Good service to Agricole, who's much flatter that time. Tremoulières up from fullback. But England are there in numbers. Good defence from the ladies in white. Hunter again with another tackle. She's got so much of the unseen work, Sarah Hunter. Yeah. Through the first tackle, but not through Maggie Alfonsi. Here come France again.
Advantage over!
De Josselvy. Advantage over from France. Izard.
Come on!
Into a maul. Riley Packer's working feverishly in there to try and get this ball for England, but it's there for France, is it? Try going round the corner.
Tackler release!
With that rock. England doing so well to hold it up. Tamara Taylor is there. France still with possession though.
No!
India. Emily Braun, good tackle from her. So the French pack will use their extra weight, their extra physicality.
Leave it!
Taylor again with a tackle. Great tackle. Burford and McLean. Good tackle from those two, and they've done brilliantly to turn it over. Natasha Hunt clears downfield, but only as far as Tremoulières. Agricole, it's all France at the moment. Liera up against Kay Wilson. Real pace herself. England's defence superb to hold out France. We've got money on them scoring from that position. Yeah, into Croker. There's Tamara Taylor again. Played in the last two World Cup finals as Tamara Taylor.
You're off your feet, Wise!
Unadi, that time, the second row.
Ball
Ball bubbles out, Chauncey. Caught by Bourne, and Emily Bourne just refuses to let go with a French scrum half. Twickenham.
Here's White.
Ali Packer, oh, she's got in there. And turn this one over now. There's some space out wide for the England Flyers. Scarrett thinks so. Emily Scarrett. Alfonsi. Katie McLean on the left-hand side. Takes it on herself, Maggie Alfonsi. Was that the right option? The ball is there. England need to arrive now, and it's Hunter. England breaking out of defence quite brilliantly. It's as good as scoring a try, stopping France scoring one there. Burford now. Merchant swivels. Using all that experience she has. Her 51st cap today. 50th against New Zealand in the summer. We lost 3-0, of course. Hunter.
Run away, Blue!
Which told to roll away, and she's not. England penalty, and England had the ball there. Might have seen some advantage there, Sue.
I was just thinking how the referee had let the game go really well there. All of that defence by England, fantastic defence, and then to run out, the amount of phases of play, they were absolutely amazing. Just a shame that England didn't get the chance. You know, the advantage wasn't played and didn't get to have a go at the line there. But what fantastic defence from England, then playing it out of defence like that, the vision to do that. Scarrett inside ball to Maggie Alfonsi, and then I think, to be fair to Maggie, she had to go for it herself because the support players weren't in quite the right places for her to get the ball away.
And it was the half-backs, wasn't it? Natasha Hunt and Katie McLean, who saw the vision, realised that France had been peppering their line, realised they would be spaced out there. And when you've got the likes of Scout, you've got the likes of Merchant and Alfonsi, who's never far away from the ball, why not have a go from there, playing heads-up rugby?
Yeah, they've really set their stall out today to do that, haven't they? I criticised them once for it, for not kicking themselves out of trouble, but, you know, had they kicked there, they wouldn't have created this opportunity to get more points on the board and get ahead in this game. Really entertaining passage of play.
Katie McLean huffing and puffing after a breathless passage of play, but it's France who are millimetres short of the England line. England come away, defend the position and come down, and Katie McLean, the captain, adds another 3 points to the scoreboard.
Yeah, you can't overestimate how important that passage of defence was for England. Very, very impressive, that close to the line. And I lost count of the amount of tackles Tamara Taylor, one of the most experienced players on this England team, made there. Really phenomenal. About 3 tackles in the space of 30 seconds, I think. But the importance of that passage of play in this game, you know, could be huge. Had France got over the line there, they'd have been well ahead with their tails up at home. As it is, England now ahead on the scorecard.
And it's moments like that you take forward, not through this Six Nations, but beyond, don't you?
Exactly right. You know, that could be the difference in this, the first game of the Six Nations, the first game of the 2014 World Cup year.
Chauncey couldn't quite control the ball with her foot. Fortunate for England, but it'll be a France line-up. Could all just take a breath.
I think the players will be pretty exhausted after that phase of play as well. The amount of defending that England did to then come out, and France, the disappointment of getting that close to the line and then having to do all of that scramble defence. The ball was in play for a long time there.
Advantage!
Alfonsi's high tackle from her. They're playing an advantage. There's anything malicious in the tackle. It was just slightly high.
That 7 there?
Player was slipping down.
Thomas, is that number 7? Okay.
No, the tackle just sort of rose up a little, didn't it? It certainly wasn't intentionally high, but certainly a penalty.
No, yeah. Please. Count yourself lucky.
Alfonsi.
Keep him low.
66th cap today. Maggie Alfonsi.
Let's go, guys.
Turn-up girl for
Time on.
women's rugby in England, isn't she, really?
Let's wash her off, please. Thank you.
2010 Sunday Times Sportswoman of the Year. She's
When you're ready.
Marshall Award at Rugby Writers' Dinner, the first ever woman to receive that accolade. Good to see her back now, 20 months out of the game with that knee injury. She's backfiring, isn't she?
She certainly is, and she's such a good figurehead for the game, such a good role model for players coming through and learning. She works so hard at her game. There's nobody that works harder fitness-wise. She just gets her head down and does the job when she's on the pitch.
Advantage! Hook a ball, advantage!
Somewhere.
You have advantage. Hook a ball.
Strongest rugby player in England ranks, men, women, any age.
Advantage over.
Clean. Here's Merchant. Oh, it's bounced into Cat Merchant's hand brilliantly, unfortunately. Grassino is there, Trullier there. And just put Cat Merchant out of touch, but good vision again.
Yeah, lovely rugby, wasn't it? It was a pinpoint kick, absolutely perfect. Cat Merchant's really got to pick it up, and then the French defence equal to it. Really good work.
York with the throw, hugely intense.
First
half here, as we expected, between these two rugby nations. Burford, Agricole, certainly up for it tonight, aren't they, France? These are England. Rocky Clark, 88 caps tonight. Experience in that England pack. Hunter now. Ndiaye here, opposite numbers, got in really well there and won the penalty for France.
Good work again from France at the breakdown, wasn't it? You'd have to say that they're just edging the breakdown at the moment, which is not what you're usually saying about a team, you know, an England team that's got Maggie Alfonsi and Marley Packer in it. Really, really good work at the breakdown.
Gwen, want the players to look at the angle coming into the ruck, okay? Angles coming into the ruck through the last foot.
Yes.
Okay. Agricole with that drop goal. Now this penalty opportunity. It's been a seesaw of a game, isn't it? Had to say territory and possession probably with Les Bleus.
Territory and possession with Les Bleus, but for me they haven't had the same penetration as England. So they've got where they've got by kicking well and by line out, catch and drives, rumbling the ball forward. England have had Emily Scarrett coming through the middle, Cat Merchant going around the outside. Just for me have a bit more penetration. So if France are going to win this game, it's going to have to be by taking the points like that.
And taking the points, she has Sandrine Agricole. Please the crowd. And we are all square. At 6 apiece. McLean. Not any mistake that time, we're going 10.
Hold one!
Chelsea, so Hunter keeps it in. Here's Wilson. Hunt. Ball in two hands, so importantly there. French defence didn't quite know what she was going to do. Emma Croker realising there was no scrum half, so takes on the responsibility herself. Playing advantage to England. Fonsi. This comes from depth, doesn't she, Maggie Alfonsi? More often than not, beats that first defender as well. England down the short side again. Hunter head down, getting those hard yards.
No advantage coming, back to the high tackle.
High tackle.
Yes.
Good advantage from the referee there.
High tackle. No.
Katie McLean.
Katie, touch. On this mark here, please.
To take it quickly. I think she was getting the call from Rachel Burford outside.
Tackle, yeah.
It was behind the referee.
Keep them down, please.
And I think she'll change the decision now.
Yeah, now she'll go for line. She wanted to take that quickly because what England don't really want to do is get into a big fight with the French forwards, and in fact they're not going to because they've not made touch.
that straight out.
Bruno, do you have a time check for me, please?
England line out and one last chance.
Bruno, time check.
Croker just making sure of the call. Tamara Taylor, athleticism from her.
Well, the England line hasn't quite functioned today. I mean, they're trying to get the ball in and out because they want to get the ball wide, get it to this back line, really challenge France and move them side to side. But they need to secure first face first, and both scrum and line out. Probably France have had the edge so far this evening.
Trying to get that ball off the top, aren't they? As you say, to get into that midfield. They like to Burford and Scout in the back three to cause some havoc, but an intriguing opening 39 minutes in Grenoble.
Bind! Set!
Tighter than many thought. England with a tight head there. It's great work from Croker to hook that ball back, and there's a good shove from the front five, and England have advantage. Okay. Burford Scout again.
No advantage coming.
Tight angle. Agricole that time. Saw it early.
Penalty.
And we'll go back for the penalty, and I expect this is
Was that 5 minutes?
a little too long for Katie McLean.
1 minute.
Could be proved wrong. Marnie Packer receiving some
1
treatment.
minute. You have time for a line out if you want to.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether they go for the line out. Another possibility would be for Emery Scarrett to have a go at the post. She's probably got more distance on her kicks than Katie McLean. But if they go for the line out, it'd be a really good attacking position. It might give them the opportunity, as you say, a bit of off the top ball and actually get the ball out into those wide channels.
Okay.
She took a chance, didn't she, Marnie Packer? Yeah. Bristol flanking out Wasps. With that injury to Maggie Alfonsi. It was 3 years, 3 months between her first and second caps, Marnie Packer. Sometimes on the Seventh Circuit as well. But now an established player within this England squad.
Yeah, she's really come into her own in the last couple of years, especially with the absence of Maggie Alfonsi. Got an opportunity to fill those number 7 boots, and now, seems a permanent fixture in the side alongside Maggie.
England trying France, and drying this line-out ball. France being told to get back on side. England technically working this quite brilliantly. Stop once now. Does Hunt now release this ball? Or do the forwards think they can take it on? Tasha asking for that ball now.
Use it now, 9!
Has to be used now. It's there. Good work from Rocky Clark. McLean, Burford. Wilson up from fullback. Staniford. Merchant. That looked forward, didn't it? Michaela Staniford. Out to opposite winger.
Blue ball.
A much better defence from France there than we saw in the autumn. They kept their width and they really pushed up at pace and put the England passers under pressure. In the autumn, that pressure simply wasn't there, and so England had all the time in the world to get the ball wide.
We have time for one more scrum. Technically, this England side so good. You saw the driving more than the crisp passing. We saw that in the autumn, didn't they? A successful autumn they had, beating France and Canada as well just a few days later. And last scrum.
Stay behind, 9! Stay behind!
Chelsea with a feed. Going to get that ball out of play. And it is half-time. It is 6-6, no tries so far. Intense game as we expected, and it is all square in Grenoble. France 6, England 6.
If you start coming up to me at every position,
It is the opening round of the Women's Six Nations, as it is for the Men's Six Nations as well. France against England, that is the fixture of the weekend. Of course, the French men stole it at the death in Paris a little bit earlier on today. For now, the women are all locked up. 6 points apiece. Sandrine Agricole, the converted fly half from centre. She is running things for the home side. Katie McLean, the captain, of course, for England, with 2 penalties. And she's keeping them in the hunt. It is a very physical encounter, as one would expect, although it was a lot higher scoring when they last met a couple of months ago. Both of them focusing in on the World Cup, which, of course, is to be played in France in 6 or 7 months' time. Won't be thinking about that now, though. It's all about the Six Nations and the 40 minutes in front of them. 6 points apiece. And just as they're set to go for the second half, we hand you back to our commentators, Sue Day and Johnny Hammond.
France have only won twice, haven't they, in the last 10 meetings between these two. Once was in last year's Six Nations at Twickenham, 30 points to 20. The only loss for England women at Twickenham in the autumn.
Thank you.
40 points to 20 to England. Very, very different affair here in this opening round of the Six Nations. The battle of the breakdown, absolutely key in winning this game. And England wanting that quick ball and not being able to get it too much in that first half, Sue.
Yeah, France have done a really good job so far of starving England of the kind of ball they want. Mohan's trying to speed the game up, she can't. And France are just, you know, nicking the ball at the breakdown, stopping England and getting it away, and being able to play the kind of game that they want to play, which is keeping it in the forwards, really having a go in the pack.
We saw the two very different tactics of these two sides. This heavyweight French pack, as it so often is, from Les Bleus, men or women, and England with real incision all over the park. Saw that already on Sarah Hunter, the opening break, with just Savi takes it away from France, and it's put through the hands, Ndiaye and Lièvre on this wide right-hand side. Sarah Hunter all alone, wasn't she? And therefore France were able to turn that ball over. Saucy, little show and go from her. Dasham didn't buy it though. Yeah.
Last foot there, White, last foot.
To Taylor. Had so many tackles in that first 40. But yeah, looking to set up the driving ball.
You're in the side there, White, one.
Advantage going to France. Rocky Clarkson at the side.
You have advantage, Blue.
Here they come with the driving ball again.
One, it was the maul, you came in the side.
Opening from England in this second half. France just turning that ball over again at the breakdown.
Decision, Captain.
We've said all along the breakdown's key, and England just didn't have enough numbers in there, so France really easily were able to turn it over. A chance now for France to put points on the board to get ahead for the first time in this game, so really, really crucial. We saw here at half-time, we said it's surprising how little France have used the driving maul, and the first opportunity close to the England line, they've tried to set one up there, so wouldn't be surprised if we see more of that as the game goes on.
You see it going down forwards and backs for France. Christian Gallier has clearly done his homework for the autumn. Great friends with Gary Street, his English counterpart. They were joking on the phone this week. Please don't pick the likes of Scarrett and Merchant. No way, said Gary Street. But at the moment, Christian Gallier will be very pleased with his team's efforts. He'll be so pleased with that penalty attempt from Sandrine Agricole, though, across the face of the posts.
Wait.
Complete. Can't find touch. Chemoulier and then India. See again. Diallo. There's a huge back row for France. Marley Packer rolling around and bouncing straight back to her feet. Poitier smashes into the tackle. The opposite number, Clark. The referee wants a word here.
Got yourself very lucky. When you tackle, I want you to use both arms. Count yourself very lucky. I need to speak to your team about discipline, okay?
Anything in particular?
Huh? The wrap on the tackle.
Okay, so arms on the tackle. Anything on the breakdown?
No, wrap on the tackle.
The referee saying no arms in the tackle.
14 white.
From Clark there, who saw from the replay.
Quinn, we have some
Barge,
substitution.
wasn't it, than a tackle?
14.
Yeah, she might be quite fortunate there to still be on the pitch. So benefit of the doubt there for Rochelle Clark. So England, there's a couple now that England have given away high tackles or poor tackles. They just need to be very, very careful, because I expect that the next one will be a yellow card.
Yes, on the sight, Elodie Fecha coming through. Made her debut against England a couple of years ago now, November 2011.
It'll be interesting to see what France opt for here. They've gone for a couple of long-range kicks, which they've not really been close to making. Would it be a better option here to go for the line, give this big pack a chance to really drive and go for it and get over the white line?
They were riding on it across to the way, weren't they? 2012. And the Six Nations didn't concede a try, top scorer to 26 champions again, and of course the clean sweep against the Black Ferns in that autumn series. Very different year, 2013. And a different year again. But Marjorie Munyas in that line out, the centre. She went up. Mignot is over the line and France have scored. And eventually the driving more pays off for France.
It's been so effective for them, hasn't it, the driving more? They've shown they've been able to make a lot of ground with it, but just haven't managed to get all the way. This time, it's a 5-metre line out. They didn't need to drive it very far. They had it completely under control. Really good work. Pinpoint, perfect line out. And then just a really well-organised, well-controlled, most importantly, drive. So they're able to keep the ball at the back, get it over the line and get the ball down. They've picked a big pack for precisely this reason, and it's working out exactly right for Christian Gallonier right now.
Mignot absolutely delighted. Tried it so many times and hardly anything you can do in those situations. And back to Katie McLean, not clearing the lines, doesn't it, really? Mignot, the captain, leading by example, and Sandrine Agricole. It's another chance at the sticks. And that one misses as well.
And now a great challenge for this England team. France away, going behind with the crowd baying. Really, really big challenge to come back into this game.
There's nothing you can do. The only way to stop that one would be illegally. See the French tails will be up. It's been putting the inside centre into the line out. It's a great kick-off from Katie McLean, though. England responds straight away.
Leave it now.
You do feel
Leave
that
it.
the heavier pack France have it. Will tire come the end of this game. And England have looked more incisive, haven't they? And immediately get a penalty back here.
Yeah, England mustn't lose faith in their game plan. They mustn't panic. What they've been trying to do all day is move this big pack around. They have to keep doing that, because that's what's going to create the space for them in the last 15, 20 minutes. A big decision here from Katie McLean to go for the line rather than more points on the board.
Was it kickable?
Certainly kickable. Kickable for Katie McLean and kickable for Emily Scarrett, but she's kicked a line very, very well there, and England have a chance of their own to get straight back at France. You can imagine line out, catch and drive here.
The PE teacher. Hamilton, of course.
Girls, there's no gap. You're after closing the gap completely. It's no gap.
All these players.
We are
He'll be
blue.
in the New Year's honours list. Second in the current squad, of course. Maggie Alfonsi. Section year teacher at Bexhill Academy in Sunderland. Now England sort of driving more of their own. Emily Bourne with that first act of catching the ball. Tora Mason is on at scrum half. Bertha, good feet from her. Zar with a tackle. You need to keep possession. Clark with the offload. It was a good offload as well. Billy Braun was on hand. Mason again. Staniford and Wilson.
Roll away, Blue!
France sought to roll away. And Wilson is in there. England still with possession. Katie McLean, one option from her. Chanel Taylor. He's got a communication, Robert. He will come back for the penalty. France in at the side. And an opportunity to cut the deficit.
Yeah, if this is anywhere near kickable, you imagine that England will go for the points on the board this time. But it looks like Helen O'Reilly's coming all the way over to the other side of the pitch, so possibly not a kickable penalty, possibly another opportunity to have a go at that catch and drive.
On the line there, please, Blue. Ace Blue on the side.
And the eye was in at the side. England again go for the corner. A 7-point gamble. Yeah, you can see the side of the picture there. Splinter the driving more. Sophie Henry was left all by herself. Another opportunity. Emily Braun again, the banker ball. Is knocked on, and France, like England in that first half, keeping England out, and now they have the push into the scrum.
Yeah, real psychological importance that if England had been able to hit straight back at France in exactly the way that France took them on, that would have been a great boost for England. As it is, you could see the joy on the France players when they turned that over. Real psychological boost for them. What they need now, France, is a really solid scrum. Show that they've got both their parts of first phase sorted and clear their lines.
Said it already, but no harm in saying it. Very, very different game. And winning these two nets in November. Emma Krugger trying to hook that ball back from England. Chauncey. Scrum half waits. From Staniford. Marley Packer and Mignot. Just tussling.
A little tussle guaranteed to get the French crowd going. All good for the atmosphere.
Won't take the knock on. Staniford will take the line out. France clearing their lines really well.
0-3 cinéma.
Nothing to that really, was there?
I was going to say just handbags, but I'm not sure Marley Packer is the type of lady to have a handbag. Fearsome competitor is Marley Packer, 24-year-old.
Yeah, get me. Hold you. You have that side again,
please. Way down on my list of people I'd like to meet in a dark alley.
In straight, yeah.
That's absolutely right. Such controlled aggression that she plays the game with. It's for all play, you know, all forwards, back row play. So easy to let that go just over the line. But she kept control of it there, as did Mignot.
England with the scrum. Pretty solid scrum as well, wasn't it? McLean. Scout. She uses her size to offload. Staniford. That's the whitewash a few times for England, hasn't she? McLean into Clark. Pass looked flat at best. Let's fly half again. There's Emma Croker. Alfonso. Appended.
Release Weiss!
And yes.
The contrast in the French defence from the autumn is phenomenal. The pace that they're getting off the line with, the numbers that they've got out of the breakdown. So different, and it's really putting England under pressure. It is not often that you see Maggie Alfonsi A, get pushed back, and then B, be penalised for holding on at the bottom of a breakdown. A huge victory for France, that.
Under half an hour or so left, but this is a real test for England now, isn't it? lost to the last Six Nations. Start of a World Cup year. Obviously, France have got a bit between their teeth. The host nation want to perform well. The opening game of the Six Nations. 11 points to 6 down, England here. And with lofty ambitions this year, this is a real mental test for them.
Exactly right. They've put a lot of pressure on themselves. They've chosen to put a lot of pressure on themselves by saying publicly that they're trying to win every game this year. And if they wanted pressure, well, they've certainly got it now. France in France are always a different proposition, but England have gone into this match as favourites undoubtedly after the autumn result. And so to find themselves down 50 minutes in will be a huge test.
Diallo and into the midfield. Burke with another great piece. Technical defensive work from England's inside centre.
Are you okay, Cedric?
Another one of those players who's decided to give up the job, move back with mum and dad. Just to totally focus on the rugby.
I want to pull your angle out, yeah? Thank you.
A very, very good technical tackle, wasn't it, from a much smaller player against a much bigger one. Managed to affect the turnover as well.
Put the hips in wide and keep the angle out. Crouch!
Round the ankles.
Set!
France definitely fancy themselves for this game, don't they? Look at Mignon, the captain.
That's a phenomenal scrummage for France. In the autumn, we saw them take 1 or 2 like that, but as the game went on, they tired here. 50 minutes in, and they're driving the English scrummage backwards. And this is an English scrummage that comes with a fierce reputation. So that's, again, another victory for France. And another thing that will make, you know, the England players question themselves a little bit. And I think Tremoulier here is going to go for the post. She's got more distance to her kick than Agricole. They can get the 3 points on the board. That takes them more than one score ahead.
Let's take the water off in the penalty.
It's 423 caps in England back. That's a Rocky Clark and Sophie Hemming will not like to see a rerun of that scrum.
No, but that 423 caps could make all the difference. Experience in games like this, having been here before, having been behind away in France before and having come back from it, that's the sort of experience that gets you through in these situations. So, you know, don't write England off yet.
Absolutely not. 5 points the difference at the moment. And yeah, he's got a big boot on it. Not big enough. Let off for England, you feel. Natasha Hunt. And return Mason on the field.
Yeah, it's not quite working for England at the moment. Putting the pressure on themselves, trying to run it from there, probably would have been better. Set the ball up, clear the lines, play the game in the right part of the pitch, but as it is, it's turned over and France have a really good attacking opportunity.
Who's coming off? Who's coming off there, David? We have 2 white. 2 white.
I thought that France
5 white. 2 and 5.
have tie in this second half as Emma Croker going off.
Just time off there, girls.
So Fleetwood will come on in the middle of that front row.
On this side. Yeah, good stuff. Thanks, Cedric. Watch your binding on this side.
Coming on as well for England.
Here, girls. Not really tongue right now. 9.
It is Rebecca Essex. We'll apologise for the loose broadcaster's graphic.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Hold the pass, right?
Another big scrum from France. This time it does end up on the feet of Sarah Hunter. England under real pressure here, and a loud blast of the referee's whistle. We met with a sigh of relief from England because they are under huge amounts of pressure. 15 minutes into the second half, this opening game of the Six Nations in Grenoble.
Vicky Fleetwood's first act coming on the pitch, take the ball against the head and enable England to clear their lines.
Weiss pushing.
Introduction from her.
Do you know?
France have had the power in that set piece, haven't they, in the scrum? England have tried to turn that ball over. Good opening throw, isn't it? As well from Fleetwood. McLean on the wraparound. Wilson can't take the ball. And it's Kat Merchant who's gone off in that England backline. Just to clarify, Natasha is still on the field. She's a fullback, I think, with Kay Wilson moving on to the right wing. Kat Merchant hasn't come out for the second half.
Knock on Weiss.
And again, England putting themselves under pressure by trying to run the ball from their own 22. It's clearly the game plan. It's clearly right. You know, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to stick to it. But it's putting them under so much pressure, and again, giving France another really good attacking opportunity in the 22.
I want you to control it. Okay, no early. Never got the advantage out of it.
Right, okay.
Were you okay?
Yeah.
If that's an injury from Kat Merchant that's taken her off so early in the game, that's going to be a big blow for England. She's such an important player for them, such a good finisher. Already with resources a little bit low in the back three with Nolly Waterman being injured and a couple of others. So yeah, could be potentially a big blow for England in the Six Nations if that's an injury for Kat Merchant.
Scotland away, up next for England. Aberdeen Grammar School by the North Sea. In Ireland at Twickenham. Wales at Twickenham StoOp, and then away at Italy in the final round. But those games way off the focus at the moment for England. They are down in France to France. There's France who responded to that heavy loss in the autumn.
Release her 16 Weiss.
It's their World Cup year.
Wait.
Chauncey Agricole. He's cross-field again. Ball bobbling around, nobody really claiming it.
Advantage!
And in the end, Wilson does. Mason.
Advantage over!
Nathan McGee this time decides to kick downfield. Giuliero, heavily strapped left leg. Plucked out the air from Hunt. She has got real taste to her.
Yeah, Mo Hunt is a lovely runner from 15. She started life as a 15 and moved into scrum half later on, but give her a little bit of space. She's got lovely footwork.
Really just unable to get out of their own half in this second half. Unable to get hold of the ball for long enough to show that accuracy and attack that we saw in moments in the first half.
This was almost an excellent crossfield kick, wasn't it? Almost into the winged hands there, but just not quite. And in the end, England did a really good job of clearing it up.
But it's France with possession again. Nearing that 60-minute mark, Diallo with a line-out take. Here's Agricole, and Diallo got an excellent evening. Trying to turn that ball over. Agricole again, a kicking game. For the opening few minutes has been absolutely superb.
Run away, Blue!
Saying to England, we will pin you down in your half. Maggie Alfonsi, the chair with the tackle, trying to rip that ball away from Maggie Alfonsi. Best of luck with that. Marley Packer now.
You're off your feet now, Blue, leave it!
You just see the... Or to leave it alone. McLean, there's space in front of her. Can she find the players outside? Burford, Fleetwood was there as well. Mason. There's Clark. Plenty of numbers on the left-hand side for England. Now they need the ball. It's there. Katie McLean. Scarrett, there's an injured player in the way, but England play on. Staniford will need to come in and try and secure this ball back for England. She can't do that again. It's numbers at the breakdown. It's the issue for England, and it's where France are excelling.
How many times have we seen that from France this evening? Their work at the breakdown has been excellent. And the, the fitness compared to the autumn, just getting the numbers to that breakdown, getting there before England, getting there before, Maggie Alfonso and Marley Packer. Very, very impressive.
Josovi with the tackle. Ndiaye there as well. Just unable to get around the outside of those big forwards. And just unable to get any sort of continuity, any rhythm to their game, which with this potent backline is what they want. And that was down with 13 players. France who were defending that. There was 2 injured players and one of them is coming off now. Nadi.
Certainly on paper, England have the stronger line break type runners in the back line, but France is simply not allowing them to get the ball to them. France are dictating the pace of the game, they're dictating where it's played, they're dictating how it's played, they're dominating at first phase, and at the moment they've just really got this game under control.
Some experience coming off the bench for France. Rabier.
That's it, David.
Winning her 57th cap. Nasty injury, doesn't it? To Marine Nadi.
She might be in pain, but all she's thinking about at the moment is the result and geeing the rest of the players on.
Scoreboard, all she needs to look at to ease that pain. And a penalty for France from that breakdown again. Shows how important that breakdown is.
What number?
This kind of performance.
Nine
It's a performance that the whole of the women's game will take note of from France. Nobody possesses a pack like them, really.
It's a very, very impressive pack display, and because they're controlling the game, because they're controlling the pace of it, they're unable to play. The pack are able to keep up because they're not having to play at too quick a pace.
Off Agricole, bouncing around. Let's have possession.
We're back.
Stanford. Referee initially said it went backwards, which is blown a whistle now.
Gwen.
Someone winning
When the whistle goes,
caps.
you leave the ball, okay?
Pressure environment, those are the kind of catches you need to take.
Scrum blue.
That's right, yeah. It would have been pretty secure ball for England had she taken that. Take the ball up, look after it in the breakdown and then clear the lines. But as it is, again, France have got a scrum and a good attacking opportunity, a good attacking
You have
position.
that side, please. Yep, line's good. One, bring your angle out, please. Bring your angle out. Thank you.
Swing up.
Crouch.
Stanford.
Bind. Set.
France then with another put into the scrum. Fleetwood, brilliant hook again
Here we go.
from England's replacement hooker. And unfortunately for her and England,
Come in here.
2 front rows went down.
She's done such a good job hooking, hasn't she, since she came on. Really, really unfortunate that didn't make a difference for her team then.
And Gallagher is on for Marley Packer in the back row. We've seen earlier, Marley Packer not overly happy with being asked to come off the field.
Set.
Front rows have gone up again, the scrum has wheeled round. It's allowed to play off for the referee, Agricole. Yeah, has been a threat out wide, hasn't she? And the ball's been kicked out. Agricole. It's gone high. Amber Reid on the field now, rank 23. Great strength from Amber Reid. One for Natasha Hunt. Don't fall back.
Amber Reid did very, very well there to field that ball and then not get taken into touch. But again, support was not there with her quick enough. France set the ball up well here, gave Sandrine Agricole a good amount of space to be able to get, again, one of these pinpoint kicks in. Really put Amber Reid under pressure, but she fielded it so well and had the strength to stay on the pitch. It was fantastic. But again, at the breakdown, France are there first and France are the ones in over the ball.
Is that it, David? Girls, we have substitutions.
course, an opportunity for France to kick to touch here, line out, catch and drive, and we know what they can do when they do that.
One white, she's coming off now.
One in the front row.
She's put, and 3 white, 3 as well.
Irritation can't reach the semi-finals. Again in the top 10. The 7th year, nearly 11 years.
Just
history of the
time off.
women's game at
David,
that club.
1 and 3 off, yeah?
And England changing their props as well. Claire Purdy on Laura Keats on for Clark and Hemming.
Okay, Cedric, you of the front, yeah?
Fresh legs all over the park then.
Such vastly experienced front row England have. The 2 props that have gone off, 87 and 62 caps, but then Purdy and Keats coming on with nearly 80 caps between them.
Diallo again at the line out, so athletic, the open side. Here come France again, Mignot, here she comes again, and France have scored again. They're driving more, such a potent weapon for France tonight. What a response from the autumn. What a different beast on home soil this French women's side are.
We said at the beginning of the programme in France are a completely different proposition, but I didn't believe quite how different a proposition they would be. They've dominated this game, they've controlled the game, they've played it at the pace they wanted to, they've created opportunities to play to their strengths, so to do the catch and drive and to just rumble forward and get over England's line. Very, very impressive, and almost nothing you can do to stop those.
Know what their strengths are and they are playing to it. Driving more again. There's the captain, Mignot, with her second try, the game's second try. Julia. It's high. Flags are up. She's able to add the 2 points. Healthy lead for France now. And are the crowd enjoying it?
And those 2 points make a huge difference, simply because, you know, as an England player, you're looking over your shoulder, seeing that slot through the post and thinking, maybe it's not our night. And the last thing that the England players can do is let doubt creep into their minds. They have to believe. They know that they're very good players. They know how well they can play as a team, and they have to keep believing and keep going for it.
18 points to 6. 12 points the difference. England need to respond, and quickly. Anne-Marie fresh on.
Run away, Blue!
And again she is swapped by French defenders. Christelle Duff is on for Jessie Tremoulière. Talk about this French squad being ravaged by injury. High-class players missing. Well, they haven't missed them tonight, have they, so far? England were playing, but the referee has
Bruno, can you hear me?
stopped the game.
I just want to see that again. I just want to see if that was late.
Bruno Bessot, the television match official.
The hit on the blue here in the centre of the pitch.
And asked to have a look at some foul play that the referee may have spotted. A late hit.
I want to see whether it's a late hit on white by blue. Okay.
If not, what
England,
would be?
Just
England get back into this game, so
They need to not panic.
The question
if they
is,
get a penalty here, they need to kick for touch, get into good attacking positions and do the simple things very, very well. Win the line out, set the ball up and move it into space where they've got these really penetrative backs.
Sure, there's too much doubt about that from Helen Izano. And Latoya Mason, it was underneath the referee's nose, it was on top of her ankle, so he wasn't going to miss that one. Wants to check. Television match official having a look.
Can you hear me?
New protocols, of course, for the women's game as well. Has the ball gone? Doesn't have an opportunity to pull out of that tackle.
Grant. Okay, I agree. Penalty here, late hit.
It is a late hit, and it is a penalty to England.
I think that's the right decision. She could have pulled out of that tackle. I thought for a minute the referee was going to reach for her pocket, which I think after a couple of the decisions with England tackles earlier on in the game would have been a little bit harsh.
He has refereed the game differently than she did at Twickenham in November when these two sides met each other. Been pretty at times, this game. It's been a proper intense test match of rugby. England scrappy from the line out. As Laura Keats picks up, tries to sort the situation out. This Hunter just unable to get any go forward. France.
Back 7.
So often a confidence team, and they're playing with real confidence here. Tamara Taylor, again a huge hit on her.
Away there, Blue.
Marjorie Anyas in the midfield.
Advantage.
Amber Reid takes it. Samoa is looking for the interception there.
Roll away there too.
Munoz tried to roll away. Mason. McLean, now England showing a little bit of width. Burford just slightly opens up for her. Here's Scarrett. England looking to strike, and don't they need to? Quick ball is there. They craved all night. But it's such ferocious defence from France. And England off their feet. Claire Purdy is off her feet. Tamara Taylor is off her feet. Becky Essex is off her feet. And the referee has been consistent all night in that area of the game.
That's right, England can't say that they wouldn't have expected that. As soon as the players come over and then just flop over the ball and their heads are lower than their hips, if you like, that's it. The referee's going to blow her whistle.
"12 points, the difference."
And it's the French defence that's making the difference. England just don't know what to do under the kind of pressure. They're so close to an interception there again from such big pressure in defence. France are getting off the line so quickly and starving the England inside backs of any time on the ball, and so they just can't release those strong runners in the outside channels.
Can't underestimate the change. They defended so narrowly in the autumn, sluggishly.
Just looks like a completely different team. It's a phenomenal transformation.
There's the double try scorer. French captain Kelly Mignon controlled things brilliantly for those driving balls tonight. Agricole, she's been good as well, hasn't she? Leduff. 12th season. She is experienced. Amber Reid manages to get the ball out of the contact. Burford has missed out. It's Scarrett trying to play rugby. They're deep in their own half again.
Leave it now, White, leave it.
It looks like they may have conceded a turnover here. They have. Again, it's that breakdown. Such an issue for England. Immediately, Christelle Leduff getting onto her feet with the bottom of that ruck, saying 3 points, 3 points.
Yeah, Tremouillier's off the pitch, Leduff's on. She's got so much experience, Christelle Leduff. 58 caps and a fantastic record of conversions, both in 7s and 15s. I saw her score a touchline conversion in 7s at the World Cup, which won a game for France. You know, she's a pinpoint kicker.
She does do plenty of kicking for Perpignan, her club. She's got a try against Lille in the quarter-final of the top 10. So much experience, made her debut. She was just 18 years of age. This her 9th Six Nations campaign. struck it particularly well. Didn't look like it was going to go in between the posts from the moment it left her boot. She'll be disappointed. She caught up in the moment. Katie McLean has gone quickly here from the 22 dropout.
Yeah, and a big let-off for England. That's still within 2 scores of France and still with 8 minutes to go, so it's still doable for England. France, on the other hand, just need to keep their hands on the ball.
To keep doing what they've been doing all game, and that is not making mistakes like that. Not had a great 60 seconds there, she, Christelle Ledum, after giving her the big up and all the experience. Maybe in the moment get to her.
No, and you said they need to keep doing what they've been doing all the game, and what they haven't been doing all game is throwing loose passes, trying to play it wide when it's not on. Now is the time, with 8 minutes to go, to keep things tight, to keep their hands on the ball, to close the game out like the England men were unable to do earlier on today.
Sarah Cash on in the front row. Lady Poublan. Tia Grand on as well. Who needs the players that are missing the Nadals, the Powers, the Canals, the Andres, the Chauvet, Naganus, Lyon, Marius Yahi. Players all missing for France. Through injuries or otherwise, you wouldn't know. But it's England with possession, and there is still time, isn't there? Great up. Bone-shuddering tackle, and then drives England back. Katie McLean now trying things. She looks unsettled, doesn't she, Katie McLean? The air of panic about that attempted chip over the top, and here come France again. Chanalizard, Trancy, here's Grohl. Question up.
Knocked it on the tackles, that's all.
Knocked it on. But England find themselves back in their 22.
Yeah, France too,
and it came from the chip that Katie McLean attempted. She's trying that because the French defence is up in her face so quickly. They can't get the ball wide, so she's thinking, right, I'll give it a go over the top, but just didn't quite execute it properly. And here you can see Rachel Burford, one of the most experienced players, trying to put the pressure on France, but unfortunately for her, knocking on in the tackle.
Yeah, please, can we watch that last one coming right the way in?
Okay. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah.
Thank you.
Final few replacements then for France. It's ticking the clock down, isn't it? Replacements at scrum half and at hooker. Sal is on for Mignot, the captain, the double try scorer. Rugby on at scrum half. For Jennifer Trancy, both have played really well tonight.
They have both played really well, and it might be ticking the clock down, but for me that's quite a risk, of taking your captain off when you're trying to close off a big game like this, taking off such a pivotal player, Trancy, who's played so well at scrum half, to throw on a scrum half with 6 caps. It's a big call, so he's showing real faith in those replacement players.
Foot down, set and hold.
Jossini on the bench. Acting like they've already won the game. There is still time. And the likes of Scott, Burford on the field for England can strike from anywhere. It was up early. Laetitia Sal then. Grant. Here come France again. They know their strengths and they are playing to them. And full credit to them for that. Their defence has been brilliant tonight. Their work at the breakdown has been brilliant. And all but that driving ball have been brilliant tonight.
They've played to their strengths, and England have allowed them to do that because of the breakdown work, but because England have not been dominant enough at the breakdown, France have been able to be on the front foot, they've been able to steal ball, England have not been able to get quick ball out to those backs, getting their penetrative runners going, and France have dictated the pace of the game and the way that the game's been played.
I think that's the key, isn't it? France have controlled this game virtually from start to finish. Played at their pace. Well, it's their backyard, it's their year to host the World Cup. They were always going to be a different proposition tonight, but England trying to break away. Scout again. Fonzie into Agricole, two of the most experienced players on the field. Wilson has no other option, does she? The chip downfield, it's easily taken. Belleduff goes towards that touchline, but the clock is very much against England now. Have to score immediately, you feel, with any chance of clawing this game back.
That's right. Earlier in the game, we were saying England needed to be kicking more from their own 22, from their own half, to play the game in the right parts of the pitch. Now is not the time to be kicking. Now, England need to keep that ball in their hands and have a go, have faith in the penetrative runners that they've got.
And there's an air of shock here in commentary, isn't there? The way that France has just turned this performance around. I wonder if the England players are shell-shocked at how France have maintained their performance throughout this game as England get the penalty. I think that's an issue mentally for England. Who is this French side they're playing against?
It will be a shock for them, because they would have expected some fire from France, but having played them in November, they wouldn't have expected France to be able to continue that all the way through the game. You know, France, we've said it over and over, are a different proposition. I've lost to France a few times by very, very tight scores in France, but certainly England will not have been expecting a margin this big.
And it is a big margin, isn't it? This result will rock this England side. They've no bones about it. Harry Street, Graham Smith there in the coach's box. They've said all week, we plan to win every single game this year. It looks like their first game is going to be an L in the results column. Well, the players like Maggie Alfonsi are making errors like that, elementary errors, knocking that ball on. Just spreads through the team.
Yeah, and the fact that they've been saying we're going to win every game this year really adds to the pressure in this final 5 minutes. And it's probably what is pushing people like Maggie Alfonsi to make those errors. You know, everybody else expects us to win this game and expects us to win the Six Nations, and now it looks like we're not going to. That's a lot of pressure to cope with as a player.
Might be the case. It's like in the men's game that 4 wins might be enough, but France away. We've got Italy at home in the next round, and Wales away, and Ireland importantly at home as well. Another strong side, Scotland away. But Ireland in that final round, maybe the crucial game, mightn't it, for France? Maybe a grand slam beckoning for both sides at that point. It's a long way away though. The final minute or so in Grenoble. England down 12 points to France. They beat them by 20 points just back in November. England trying again to break through this immense French defence, and it has been exactly that. It's been an immense defensive performance from France all evening. Mason, Maggie Alfonsi, she won't give up. I think we'll talk about England putting pressure on themselves to win all these games. It's that mental pressure that they feel they were lacking 4 years ago in that World Cup final. But it hasn't worked for them tonight, has it, in this opening round of the Six Nations?
Thank you, Bruno.
It hasn't, but it's the first game of a long season. France are a very good team. They had a terrible autumn, but they are a very good team playing at home. So, you know, it looks like, well, England are now going to lose this game, but it's not the end of the world. They have to use it as a learning experience, work out what they did wrong, work out how to react to situations like this.
You say, don't you, learn so much from a defeat, but this is a result that will only affect this England squad, but it will reverberate around the women's game, won't it?
Certainly, because it is so unexpected, and at the start of World Cup year, it shows other teams that this England team is beatable. In France, which is where the World Cup's going to be. So it's a big ask for England to turn things around from here, but of course they can. but a fantastic start for France to World Cup year. They couldn't have hoped for any better performance than this at the start of this evening.
And they're going just to hammer the final nail in the coffin. Sandrine Agricole with his penalty attempt. Hasn't got the legs again. Katie McLean well past the ball. Peter Scarab, but again, France are there. Izar with a tackle. Hunter. One last throw of the dice for England then. Alfonsi, Fleetwood. Izar is there again with another tackle. She made one on the right-hand side, back on her feet to make another one on the left-hand side. And there, what a fitting moment that the breakdown should be the moment when France win this game, when the final whistle goes. England have been so dominant in this tournament. Not last year for various reasons, but it is France who have dominated England here tonight. They have scored the 2 tries. They controlled the pace of the game. They controlled territory. They controlled possession. Their defence was absolutely superb. They did not allow England into the game. It is a huge dent for this England side, but it is a result that will have the whole of the women's game taking note. France have beaten England here handsomely, 18 points to 6. Referee is from Ireland, Helen O'Reilly, who actually took charge of the match back at Twickenham several months ago. I'm delighted to say former England captain Sue Day is alongside. And so, key game for both sides, not just this tournament, but looking ahead towards the summer and August and the World Cup.
That's right, the girls have already said it in the studio. This is where you set your stall out, and this is World Cup year. It's France playing in France. France at home, they're always such a tough proposition, and they know that they've got to really hit the ground running for their home World Cup this year. That said, it's such a vastly experienced England side. You'd have to put them as favourites for this game.
England, France, the 2 heavyweights of Europe in the Six Nations is always special, but that increases tenfold as both these sides set out in earnest on their World Cup journeys. 2014, I should say, a year when one nation's dreams will become reality. For all the other nations, their dreams will be shattered. And it's Katie McLean, newly crowned with an MBE, who gets this game underway. Big French pack as we expected. They struggled with the pace of England in the autumn. 40 points to 20, wasn't it, at Twickenham? No, Marie-Alice Yahi at scrum half for France. That's a big loss in terms of leadership, but also as a scrum half. Jennifer Trancy, the lady wearing the 9 shirt tonight for France. And it's Rachel Burford, player of the match back in November. Marley Packer.
Run away, Blue!
Incredible back row that England have. Sarah Hunter, so often captain, vice-captain tonight, alongside Marley Packer. We've seen her already, and Maggie Alfonsi, the machine. McLean is Burford. Caught by Michel-Sauvé. Michelle Clark, known as Rocky. She does pack a punch. McLean. Emily Scarab's been on fire. They've had an entire week together, England. Great preparation. They'll have a whole week together ahead of Ireland, and just the commitment of these girls, so giving up work for the year in preparation for the World Cup. Ball spills out though for England. Yallo with the line out take, the open side for France. And the 2 points to prove, haven't they, England? 3rd in last year's Six Nations. It was a disjointed year with the World Cup 7s going on and players drifting from 7s to 15s. The lowest ever finish. It was such a successful tournament for England women. India down the short side. Emily Braun just about holds on to an ankle. We'll see again, but France will be happy with the start. Plenty of possession.
And plenty of ambition. They're really going for it. It's really pleasing to see.
Use it, Blue!
Agricole deep, doesn't she? Okay, Wilson. Cat Merchant back in the side. She is world class. Wasn't there in the autumn. Looked like Emily Scout at outside centre, another world class player. And we didn't seem to miss them too much. And Hunt with a box kick. Little mistake from Trulier.
It's marked.
And England will have the put into the line out in a good position inside France's 22.
Yeah, and you see the contrast there between the kicking games of the two teams. France had really good possession going forward in attack, and they kicked the ball away straight down the throat of Kay Wilson, who's solid under the high ball. Give the ball to Cat Merchant, who takes the ball, you know, 20-30 metres forward, getting on the front foot, giving Mo Hunt the chance to kick them into the right half of the field.
Emma Croker.
Advantage.
One of the mums in the team, only had 4 months out to have a little baby boy. Girl, actually, isn't it? The former Richmond player, James Croker, who's director of rugby at Paisley Stoke Rugby.
Took it back in, out on the ball.
England are taking it quickly. The referee says, no, we won't have any of that, thanks very much. And Gail Mignot, the French captain, has got a cut above her left eye and will need some treatment there.
Yeah, you can see again England trying to play quickly, take the quick line out, get that France team moving all over the pitch, but that time there'd been a knock-on, so it's coming all the way back.
Okay. I'll have a look at her. I'll manage it, okay?
Gabrielle Fonzie straight in the ear of the referee, using all that experience. Good to see her back. She had all that time out. Well, there is always a buzz when Europe's elite rugby nations commence battle to be crowned the champions of the Northern Hemisphere. But with a World Cup only 6 months away, it comes into much sharper focus, doesn't it? England, very, very strong selection, hugely experienced side, boasting 727 caps. 9 of these players started the 2010 World Cup final. There's another 238 caps on the bench, just 5 changes from when they met in November. Well, for France, a colossal pack, no surprises there. Could outmuscle England if they stand still for long enough. Useful set of backs to real pace for the likes of Izard, Gracineau, involved with the Sevens last season, and of course Marion Lièvre, 2 times she crossed the whitewash in the autumn. Well, the France snap it up. Charging Agricot, feeding the outside backs. Moulier and Izard both played in France 7 shirts and showing their pace there.
That's a breathless start to the game, wasn't it? Right off the kick-off, you saw what I think we'll see a lot of from France today, you know, really rumbling up with the pack. But England tried to spin the ball, trying to play possibly too much rugby too soon, spilled the ball. And the French did really well to spin this wide. Unfortunately, the ball went down there. Had it not, they had a lot of space there.
Nearly Braun takes the line out close. Selection call from Gary Street and Graham Smith in that second row. Tamara Taylor in the 4 shirt. Joe McGilchrist sniffing around for selection, but Emily Broad who gets the shirt tonight. Now Yeva against Michaela Stanifer, the England Sevens captain. So that bright start from France, didn't we, in the men's game? No score as yet in the women's game. Of course, England under 20s losing to France last night and then losing earlier on. Down to the ladies then.
It is. It's all down to the England women's senior team to put a bit of pride back to England.
Chauncey feeds Kyorita. Chauncey again. Agricole. So much of a rugby at inside centre.
Keep coming,
just with
keep coming.
Lack of an out-and-out fly half. Christian Gallinaire has said to Sandrine Agricole as she takes the ball up now. Lovely inside flick.
Last spot.
She's entrusted with that fly half shirt. She is hugely experienced, 72 caps to her name. Ndiaye, the number 8,
Chuck him in the side, 6,
goes into England. Marley Packer told to stay where she is. Sarah Hunter misses Chauncey. Diallo, the open side, up against Maggie Alfonsi tonight. Not for the faint-hearted, that task. Did you see Ndiaye again, the Montpellier number 8, an imperious this season in the top 10. Montpellier. Agricole. Only possession for France in the opening exchanges. Emily Scout is taken in the air and it's an England penalty and Hunt has gone. What a Danny Kerr like. Alfonsi. Katie McLean was going wide. Rather ran away from her support and Maggie Alfonsi.
Leave it 7.
Pass was always dying on her, but she's knocked it on. But bright stuff from England's number 9.
Yeah, going really, really quickly. That's what Mo Hunt's been picked for. She really picks up the pace of the game. She really gets things moving, and England will be looking to do that today against what is, especially the French pack, a really, really big French team. So they're going to want to move them around the park.
We saw that in the autumn, didn't we? When England played quick ball, played wide ball, the French heavyweight just couldn't live with the pace of the game.
Yeah, and I'm sure that'll be part of their game plan, trying to do that to them again. Okay. You'd imagine the French team will be a little bit fitter this time. They've been playing a lot more club rugby, but still, it's an enormous pack that they're playing today.
Yeah, thank you.
France, of course, hosts of the World Cup in August. Those pool games start on the 1st of August. They're going to set their stall out as a host nation. They're a different side at home. You played against them home and away, and they are a different beast.
Completely different proposition playing France in France. They always have such a fantastic atmosphere, the crowd banging the hoardings, the cup crawls in the background, you know. They always lift their game at home, and it's a real test for any team playing against them.
Yeah. Tackle by Hunter and Alfonsi. And this is what France will look to do. Kyorita that time. Jossini waits.
Here you go.
Ndiaye again, the number 8. There's Maggie Alfonsi getting straight over the ball. Just so good at turning that ball over. There's Taylor with a tackle. Chauncey.
Outside.
Agricole. It's come off an England hand, so it's play on. Staniford couldn't take the ball, and it's just hit her hand, and the way out will be a France line-out.
They got a little bit lucky there, France. We saw when France played in the autumn, they didn't have a good kicking game. Sandrine Agricole is a very, very experienced centre, and a very good centre. She doesn't have so much experience, certainly at international level, at fly half. Her kicking game has found a little bit wanting in the autumn, and you know, they're really going to need that today if they want to pin England back.